Hello everyone, my name is Nurfitri Zulaika. Would like to explain the basic concept of formation of salt crystal. So in this video, we will explore how to grow your own salt crystal. Before we moving on to the process of formation the salt crystal, let's take a look at the crystallization. So what mean by crystallization? It is the process where atoms or molecules of substance organize themselves into structure, three-dimensional lattice, resulting a reduction of the system's overall energy. During this process, the particles bond together at precise angles, forming a highly ordered structure. When a solid dissolves in a liquid, it is eventually reach a point where no more can dissolve, known as the saturation point. The liquid at this stage is called a saturated solution. In the crystallization process consists of two phases of crystal formation. These two phases are integral to the process nucleation and crystal growth. For the nucleation is the process where solute molecules in a solvent form clusters called nuclei under specific conditions. If these clusters are unstable, they dissolve. For stability, the clusters must reach at a critical size, where it is growing. At this stage, atoms arrange in periodic pattern that defines the crystal structure. For the crystal growth, it follows nucleation, and both processes occur together while supersaturation drives crystallization. Supersaturation can be achieved through methods like cooling, evaporation, or pH adjustment. Depending on the conditions, either nucleation or growth may dominate, resulting in crystals of various sizes and shapes. When supersaturation is exhausted, the system reaches equilibrium unless conditions change. These are some common examples of formation crystals going through the crystallization process, which we have formation of salt crystals, snowflake formation, sugar crystals, and many more. In this part, I have already created a video demonstrating the process of making salt crystals. So let's take a look at the video. First, prepare the materials. Here's what you need: a container, a spoon, a glass, salt, some hot water, and the last one is tissue. Next, pour some hot water into the glass and then slowly add salt to the hot water and stir. Continue adding salt until no more can dissolve. This creates a saturated solution. If some salt remains undissolved, it means that the solution is fully saturated. Next, carefully pour the solution into a container. Then, we wrap the container with tissue. Lastly, we just leave the solution for a few days to get the result. So far, for the results and observations, it took a few days to form the salt crystals. The first picture shows the salt crystal forming through evaporation and cooling. After one day, the tiny salt particles appear at the top and bottom, and the solution began to recede. After 3 days, the solution was about half dried, and the formation of salt crystal became visible. And the final picture shows the selected beautiful salt crystal, which is carefully separated into another container. So, do you even know how the salt crystals are formed? Salt crystals are solid, three-dimensional formation that occur when dissolved salt. Usually, sodium chloride transition into a solid state. This crystal consists of repeating arrangement of sodium and chloride ions, organized in a consistent and orderly lattice pattern. At the molecular level, salt crystals form through ionic bonds between sodium ions and chloride ions. These charged particles are attracted to one another because of their opposite charge and creating a stable bond. In a salt solution, these ions are dispersed in water, but as the water evaporates or temperature decreases, the ion bonds together to create solid salt crystals. Sodium chloride is an ionic compound, and its crystal structure is known as cubic lattice or face-centered cubic structure. In this arrangement, each sodium ion is surrounded by 6 chloride ions, and each chloride ion is similarly surrounded by 6 sodium ions, creating a repeating three-dimensional pattern. Salt crystal can form in several ways, but the most common methods are evaporation and cooling of a saturated solution. As water evaporates, the salt concentration increases until it reaches saturation. With further evaporation, sodium and chloride ions start to join together and form solid crystal. When a saturated salt solution is cooled, its ability to dissolve salt diminishes. As the temperature decreases, the excess salt separates from the solution and begins to crystallize. I think that's all for me. Thanks for watching.